We're speaking to Dr. Noubar Afeyan. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
That's right.
I'm a fan. Founder and CEO of Flagship Pioneering, also innovative drugs and, of course, the COVID response. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You were in a fireside chat. What are some of the issues that came up?
Well, Dr. Mike Rosenblatt, who's one of the co-chairs here, we were talking about how to innovate differently, how to have impact on patients, how all this relates to the big challenges today, and also philanthropy and how that can impact the world.
Now, Moderna, you were involved with, of course, the vaccine. That took a much faster pace than normally, correct?
Well, Moderna followed all the steps that you go through to generate a new vaccine. It's just that we had a technology platform that could operate much, much more quickly, and the pandemic allowed us to create the kind of networks needed with the government and with different clinics to test it very rapidly. So within a few months, we had developed the vaccine, and within a few more months, we had it through the regulatory system and ready to be shipped out.
But you think that something that takes too long? I've spoken to companies that their products are available to the public in 2032. I know you want to be careful, but isn't it too long? Shouldn't the process be hastened so some of this medicine, the pharmaceuticals, get out to the public much quicker?
You know, we're talking about making drugs and vaccines out of advancements in science and technology. Regulation is meant to ensure that these new capabilities of science and technology are not harmful at first and prove out that they're actually better. What happens as a result is that science and technology often outpaces regulation that actually adapts to them. And so it's that mismatch between the time it takes for the science and technology to manifest itself and the regulation to adapt to it that sometimes takes longer than needed. And unfortunately, the people who suffer are patients. But the getting rid of regulation is not the answer. Having the science and technology more rapidly demonstrate itself and then work with regulators to make the necessary adjustments, for example, the advent of new biomarkers and many other things, that's the path forward.
But in Moderna, in the case of the vaccine, you went very quickly and was successful. So I'm not saying get rid of regulations, but shouldn't the regulations be changed to help the public much quicker?
It turned out that, to me, two things were different during the pandemic. One was that there was a massive amount of alignment between the government, the various health agencies, and the companies to be able to carry out the work very rapidly, because everybody's neighbors and cousins were being impacted in themselves. So one, there was a motivation to be better coordinated, so that you don't have to change regulations to do that. And then the second one was that there was an avalanche of opportunity to test the novelty, because during a pandemic, you have so much incident infections that you can get the answers quickly. Those two things don't require regulatory change. The regulators, though, were willing to work hand in hand with the developers and the public health entities to be able to make sure that we weren't losing time by waiting for some unknown periods of time just to get the bureaucracy to happen. So the bureaucracy was lessened, and I do think there's some things we can take away from that and apply to other situations.
Finally, what's your biggest challenge?
You know, human capital. I mean, at the end of the day, there is many more opportunities and many more teams that are ready to be led to do some pretty transformative things, and we need leaders and we need scientists, and this is a country where those scientists are being developed. We need to keep investing in that.
Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.